I decided recently that I wanted to start doing YouTube videos of possible comic reviews, but then I thought, what's the point? Everybody has opinions, comics are completely subjective, and there's no reason to review anything really. It's pointless. So basically what I wanted to do is make videos sharing and talking about comics that came out this week. I cuss sometimes, I get a little bit passionate about certain comics as opposed to other ones. That's okay. If you're watching this, that's cool. I hope you dig some of the stuff I'm gonna share. If not, that's fine too. So I guess the first thing I'm gonna start with this week is Green Lantern, number 19. Wrath of the First Lantern, Part 9. We're almost near the end of this run of the story. Sometimes I'll have the books, sometimes I'll probably pop up pictures around in the video. I don't know yet. This is the first one, it's an experiment. So anyways, Green Lantern. This month, I guess, DC is doing these little wraparound covers, which are pretty neat. Especially this one with Sinestro getting his lantern back, which is pretty freaking cool in my opinion. Not all the covers are as cool as this, you know, but this one's pretty neat. I like it. Doug Mankey's artwork, always awesome. Alright, so without giving too much away in this issue, basically the First Lantern is going around to all the members of the Green Lantern Corps and Red Lantern Corps and all the colors of the Corps, whoever the main people are in there, and he's going around and basically manipulating their past and feeding on their emotional energy, because he is the embodiment of the emotional spectrum basically. And in this one, he comes in contact with Sinestro basically, and Sinestro, obviously he's a very conflicted character, and his emotions kind of give Volthoom the power that he's been looking for this whole time. Which you're thinking, oh, why didn't you just go to Sinestro first? My thoughts exactly. He should have just went straight to Sinestro from the beginning instead of wasting his time with everybody else. Sure, Kyle Rayner can like turn into a White Lantern and harness all the colors in the emotional spectrum, but realistically, Sinestro, that's where you should have gone in the first place. So Sinestro eventually kind of figures out what's going on, but it's too late, and this happens. Not really spoilers, just a big explosion with Sinestro there. That's it. It's a nice little double splash page. It's pretty cool. So I'm not going to give away the ending. Obviously you want to read it, and not to spoil too much, but if you are one of those people who doesn't like spoilers, stupid spoilers don't really ruin anything, but turn it off, forward, whatever you want to do. That is what happens. Sinestro is getting his yellow lantern back, probably going to reignite the Sinestro Corps, who knows, but either way I have a feeling that's going to be pretty fucking awesome. I trust anything Jeff Johns does, I have for years. I'm kind of bummed that he's going to be leaving Green Lantern soon. I don't know if I'll continue reading it after that, but we'll see. I'll give it a couple issues, and if I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't. But yeah, Green Lantern. I don't read a lot of superhero comics. I mean, I should say I read a bunch of them, but I don't always buy a bunch of them. I buy my favorites and that's it. Recently I had to cut out Batman because it just wasn't doing it for me. I really don't like Scott Snyder's writing on Batman. I don't like how he's taken the character. Yeah, it's not really my thing, so I kind of dropped it. I am reading Batman and Robin still. I'm reading Batman Inc. because of all the nonsense that's happened with Damian, unfortunately. I really like that character. It's a shame that they killed him off, but I probably won't be reviewing Batman comics. I might talk about them, what I hate about them. That's probably what you'll get out of me, is a bunch of rants of how much I dislike it. Swamp Thing. Scott Snyder's not writing on Swamp Thing anymore, which kind of sucks. I actually did like his writing on Swamp Thing. It was amazing. I love this character for years. Gatefold cover. Superman is there. I guess Swamp Thing's in Metropolis. So this is the first issue with the new writer Charles Soule. I guess that's how you say his last name. And it's okay. I'm not really sure where it's going yet. I'm gonna give it a few issues. I'm gonna keep buying it. I don't care. I love Swamp Thing that much. The art's okay. It's not perfect. I was really liking Yannick Paquette's artwork a lot better. Some of the art here looks like the old Swamp Thing in like the 90s when it was having like a really tough time and stuff like that. But then you have like really awesome splash pages like this. So it's 50-50 on the art. The story in this, I guess, Swamp Thing goes to Metropolis after the events of Rot World. He is no longer Alec Holland, but he still kind of thinks he is. He wants to hold on to that humanity for whatever reason, which is cool. But, you know, for years before Alan Moore even took over, there was that weird gray area of, is he Alec Holland, is he not Alec Holland? And this is where we're at right now. He kind of goes to the Metropolis area, and Scarecrow shows up and kind of doses him with some gas, you know, his fear toxin or whatever, and something crazy happens, sort of. Superman shows up, and that's where it's at. So, yep, Swamp Thing, check it out. It's really good. Animal Man. Animal Man's always been a really weird character. You think, Animal Man, what can he do? How is he a superhero? Well, I mean, he can... Basically, he can tap into what is called the red. I'm sure if you're reading this, you already know, so I don't have to explain it. But, you know, when you talk to a casual reader and you say Animal Man, they're like, that character sucks. Well, not really. This comic's been good for years, you know, back when Grant Morrison wrote it. Even now, like, Jeff Lemire taking over, it's been amazing. I read it from issue 1. I loved it. I haven't stopped reading it. I do feel bad for Buddy Baker dealing with his crazy wife. I hate when wives are so... I can't really think of a word for it, a good word for it, but she's bitchy, basically. She thinks that Buddy having superpowers is the cause of all her problems, and so she's like bitching at him all the time, and Buddy Baker, your superpowers are causing us problems, and I'm just like, no, shut the fuck up, shut up. Sometimes I think that's a writer who doesn't know how to write a woman. He just thinks that a woman is a force that's there to nag the guy, which is kind of funny, but I don't like it. It's not, I don't know. Does she want to really date like a normal guy that goes to a 9-to-5 job every day? Or does she want Buddy Baker, who's a fucking superhero? Buddy Baker, that's my opinion. Anyways, off of that rant. In this issue, again, this is coming out of the events of Rot World, which was a crossover between Swamp Thing and Animal Man. So, another gatefold cover here. As you can see, Buddy Baker's son has died in the last issue. He saved him from William Arcane. He got punched through the stomach, a giant hole in him. Which, you know, probably hit him because he had a mullet. I would. I mean, why not? Anyways, yeah, this is the fallout from that last issue, and Buddy's wife is being really, I don't know, being really weird that it's like all his fault or whatever, and so Buddy's dealing with it, his wife's dealing with it, his family's dealing with it. The little kid, Maxine, they won't let her use her powers, which again I think is stupid. How are you going to stop her from using her powers? She can do what she wants. So that's basically the whole issue, and I mean, without giving too much away, you know, Buddy Baker he doesn't really get his powers taken away, but he gets his connection of the red taken away from him due to something that happens in here. So check it out. Animal Man number 19, Jeff Lemire. If you don't know anything else he's done, check out Sweet Tooth. It's pretty amazing. Pretty much it for DC Comics this week. I haven't really read a lot of the other stuff that's come out this week. I haven't had time. This is just what I have right now that I've bought. So I'm going to move on to Marvel stuff for this week. And I'm going to start with Thanos Rising, #1. This is the start of all the Infinity stuff that's going to be happening in the Marvel Universe this next year, which is pretty exciting. Because from what I hear, Jonathan Hickman is writing it, and I have something of his that I'm going to talk about later. But yeah, Jonathan Hickman did not write this. This is Jason Aaron. It's pretty good. I'm not a huge fan of Jason Aaron. It's, he's okay. But this actually wasn't too bad. I really liked it. The art is phenomenal. Simone Bianchi is amazing. Like I would buy anything that has their name on it. Period. I'm not sure if it's a guy or girl. Haven't looked it up, so don't be mad if I'm wrong. So yeah, this is basically origin story of Thanos, which is cool because before then we only really saw him in crossovers and Infinity Gauntlet and stuff like that. He's never had a title of his own really. It's always been Thanos this, Thanos that, but nothing about his past really. All we know is he grew up on the moon of Saturn or Jupiter, I forget where. It's in here. Again, I only read it once, didn't really dissect it too much, I just kind of read it. So it starts out with him as a kid, growing up on his planet, or moon, I guess it is. And that's pretty much it for this issue. Nothing really crazy happens, it's just all about his childhood and that's it. But I'm really just stoked for what this is setting up. Like I was talking about earlier, Jonathan Hickman is about to start writing Infinity, a little, I guess it's a crossover event, which is going to possibly bring back the Inhumans, from which I read an interview, which is exciting. Jonathan Hickman right now is doing amazing things in the Marvel Universe. His run on the Avengers and the New Avengers is phenomenal. Like, it's some of the best comic writing I've ever read. Like, all his stuff with the multiverses and the White event and everything that's happening there is just, it's perfect. It's what Marvel Comics should be. So I am looking forward to that. It should be pretty neat. This is kind of the setup for it. So definitely check that out, Thanos Rising #1. There's some other books I haven't really read, but I will get to them. I have Age of Ultron book 4. Again, this is another event. It's been okay so far. I'm not really sure where it's going. The only problem is that it's like a 2-year-old storyline that's just now getting published. So a lot of stuff doesn't make sense sometimes in terms of continuity. So yeah, I haven't read this issue yet. I'll get to it eventually. I'll probably talk about it next time. So far it's okay. It's whatever. I'll read it. I don't care if it's good or bad. I'll read it. The one thing that does bug me about this cover, I'm not sure if you can. I'll try and hold it up here, but I'm assuming this is Luke Cage. I don't know what's up with this. If that's his hair, and he's got like a half head, or what's going on. But the art is just, it's really bad right here. I don't know. Yeah, Luke Cage is weird. Half row, bald head, or whatever it is, because it's solid black. It doesn't look like hair. If he's wearing a hat, I can't really tell. But it's kind of weird. Just thought I'd point that out. Indestructible Hulk, Mark Waid. It's been amazing. I love how they utilize Hulk as a weapon and nothing else, and Bruce Banner is his own separate, crazy scientist person. Him and Tony Stark are always back and forth with each other, which is pretty cool. I haven't read this issue yet. I will soon. I fucking hate the cover. That art is terrible. I really hate cartoony shit. But what are you gonna do? It's not gonna stop me from buying it if the story's good. So yeah, check that out. Incredible Hulk. Indestructible Hulk, sorry. That's pretty much all I got for Marvel this week. Again, I haven't read a lot of stuff that's come out. I usually read Deadpool and a couple other books, Thor, whenever it comes out, but I don't think it came out this week. So that's that. I have a couple of Image comics here. I also haven't read these yet, but these are... Image right now is putting out, hands down, the best comic books that are non-superhero comic books. I am honestly not a big superhero comic fan. I try to stay away from them, but they're enjoyable. I read them whenever I feel like it. But these right here, these came out this week. Bedlam, issue number 6, and Great Pacific, issue number 6. These are amazing. Bedlam is kind of an interesting little, I don't want to say serial killer, but he's kind of like the Joker in a way. But yeah, I'm interested to see where this is going. I haven't read this issue yet, so I'm not going to talk about it. But check out Bedlam. Also, check out Great Pacific. It's about an island of trash that this rich kid is going to try and save or figure out something to do with it. And a lot of crazy shit's happened on there since he's got on there. Haven't read this one yet. I'm looking forward to reading it. Also, check it out. Great Pacific. Last. This did come out last week. East of West, #1. This comic is hands down, again, Jonathan Hickman. If you've never read his stuff or don't know who he is, I want you to stop this right now and start reading everything that he's ever put out. Because he is brilliant. Simple as that. He's brilliant. And this is his newest indie comic, I guess if you want to call it, or creator-owned is a better term. Again, it's out on Image Comics. You know, they put out Walking Dead. That's like their big comic. They're putting out some of the finest work by comic creators today, and this is proof right here, East of West. It's basically about the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, except Death doesn't want to be a part of it anymore. He's kind of doing his own thing, and this is kind of where the book picks up, that the other horsemen of the apocalypse are looking for Death, and Death is trying to solve some vendetta that you don't really know what's going on. You just see him going around killing people right now. So it's interesting. It's really good. The art is fantastic in here, man. You get a broad scope of like how big this universe is and how big it's gonna be and what it's set. It's like Civil War meets futuristic steampunk stuff, which is pretty cool. I like it. But it's the year 2064. Yeah, stuff like this. Giant, expansive space cities, and then, you know, you have like 13 colonies flags, and people dress up like Western style clothes and Indians, and it's brilliant stuff. Check it out. That's all I have to say. All over the book there's little like sayings and symbols, and up here in the front it says, "This is the world. It's not the one we were supposed to have, but it's the one we made. We did this, we did it with open eyes and willing hands. We broke it, and there is no putting back together." It's pretty heavy stuff. Yeah, I am insanely looking forward to the rest of these. This comic is so good. I love the coloring, everything in it is awesome. Again, here's another little scene in the book. Yeah, so this actually came out last week, but I just started this, so East of West, check it out. And that is all I have right now. I'm reading like a plethora of other stuff. I have to get caught up on a lot of books. I'm in a transition phase of moving everything right now, so it might be a week or so until I do another one of these, but who knows? There's always more time. I'm going to start reading Moon Knight. That is my next big thing to catch up on. I'm going to start from the beginning, all the stuff way back in the 70s and 80s, and read up until I'll probably reread Bendis's run. I really enjoyed that a lot. It's pretty cool. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the recommendations. I hope you check stuff out. Go buy comics. That's the main thing that matters. Go buy comics. Help the creators. And until next time.